Happy Festivus.
What's Festivus?
Festivus.
Festivus is your heritage. A new holiday was born. It's part of who you are. Now, Happy Festivus.
Tell me everything.
Festivus begins with the airing of grievances.
That is amazing.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
And is there a tree?
No, instead, there's a pole.
Wow.
Festivus miracle doesn't exist.
Happy Festivus, George.
A Festivus for the rest of us. I'll get the pole out of the crawl's face.
Shut up and sit down.
Welcome, everybody, to the 3POA Podcast, episode 83. I'm your host, Laserpants, also known as Ryan. Bobby will be back next weekend to run down our top 10 figures overall of 2024. But this weekend, I've got something very special planned for you. I forgot to put his music on my soundboard. But I am joined by the best toy reviewer on YouTube, and that's my buddy, Anthony's Customs. Welcome, Anthony. Welcome to the show.
I can't work with this. No music? What?
I have it too.
That's all right. That's all right. People have heard it by now, or if they haven't, they probably don't want to. So that's all right. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I do have it. It's right here. There it is. Should we do it
take
over?
it.
Like a do-over?
Nah.
Start the intro again?
I don't think that's necessary. It's all right.
Okay. We don't have to do that.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. How you been?
I have been good. I just finished recording all of the audio for all of my top 10 lists for the rest of the year. So my voice may go tonight, but we'll see. I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, the end of the year, that's kind of the toy YouTube trope, the top 10s of everything. But what I've been really enjoying on your channel is the remodel and the updating of your collection room, your man cave.
Yeah, which is clearly not moving at all at this point. Well, the remodel's done, but the filling of the shelves, haven't touched it. Haven't touched a single thing. I just don't have any time. No time.
You got the stacked up boxes there ready to go. Pristine shelving.
I kind of organized the boxes. That's what I've done so far. And then there's just a giant disaster of a mess. So well, these light up and everything. I put a lot of time into the shelves. And they look great, but kind of worthless without stuff in them. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
That's one of the things about, like, watching other people's collection videos where they go through their room and they show you. It's like, oh, that's a good idea. And then I get these ideas where I want to start changing mine. And it is such a process when you have as much stuff as guys like us do. It is like, it could take forever. Like, I remodeled this room before I moved down. This is my basement. Mm-hmm. I did a full remodel. It took me like a year and a half to get everything done and everything down here. The shelves built, the lights in. It's huge. So I'm sure when I look at the shelves there, you got, what are those Billy bookcases?
Yeah, it's 5, I think. Yeah, I think it's 5 Billies, and then with doors, and I put lights in. So it'll look nice, but it's going to take forever. Way too long.
Yeah. I don't want to have to change them around my room again. I don't want any more ideas. let's go to the
Just
chat.
have to live with it at some point.
You do. Well, I have been. I don't know if you keep up with the show that much. I'm getting a little bit of an echo. Are you hearing that?
I'm not hearing anything.
Okay. Then I'll just keep going. I don't like I was saying. I don't know if you keep up with the channel, but I am building a 4x8 size table, and I'm going to build a city diorama on it.
Oh yeah. I saw
For
that.
112 figures, and I'm kind of in the middle of that. And the way I did it, I'm gonna have to get a lot of like pink foam and make a lot of sidewalks. I already have some buildings that I've gotten from some different diorama makers, and of course the NECA stuff. But
Yeah.
as I look at it, I'm like, I'm a couple weeks in, and I probably have a year to go till it's done.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah. I was gonna do that at one point, just make a diorama. It was only gonna be terrain, and I was like, nah, it's too much work. If you're going like 1/12 scale, even it's
huge.
It's huge. It's way bigger than you think, and I've
Right.
heard that a few times in life. But especially as far as the dioramas go, it's too much work. I've just not my thing. I just said never again. Not going to do it. So good luck. I look forward to seeing it. I'm glad I'm not doing it. That's
Right.
for sure.
All right. Well, we're gonna run through. So last week I ran through top 10 Marvel Legends with Rectangular and Thomas Goes Nostalgic. And I thought, well, what better way to follow it up with top 10 worst Marvel Legends with
Yeah.
Anthony's Customs. Now, you
Yeah,
kind of have a
I suppose that
reputation.
makes sense.
I mean, you go to any comment section about toy YouTubers and you see, oh, Anthony's Customs, and then here comes, oh, he just hates everything. Anthony
it all.
hates everything.
Every single thing. Hate it.
He
Yeah.
uploads hate videos for clicks.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. I want to touch on that briefly because I've started getting that mentioned in my comment section. I've never heard that before, so I think somebody started that. But you don't get that many views for action figure hate videos. It's like it doesn't perform better. It performs worse than the positive ones. And like it's obvious because the people who are blatantly positive get way more views on things. So it's
They
like,
do.
where are they getting this stuff? It's crazy.
Yep, that's very true. I am being told there is a noticeable echo. Let me make sure that I got echo cancellation turned on. Oh, it's not. That's the problem. I got to turn that on.
Yeah, because I'm in headset and microphone here. It shouldn't be any.
I think we
Unless
are
it's
all
a
good now.
Bluetooth thing.
I just fixed it.
Okay.
That was my fault. I was going to blame you. And
It's
then
not
we were going to
me.
become enemies. Okay, no, I'm kidding.
Well, it could be me because these are new, but otherwise, I don't think so. It's
No, you sound. It is Ryan's voice that is echoing, says Tim Ward. It should be over now. Let me know. Oh, it says much better. Thank you, Sam. Fixed.
There we go.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
All right. Now we'll go to the chat. Before we go to our top 10 list, I'm going to keep the show at like an hour and a half max, just because I want to be respectful of your time. I know you got a little one there still.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. If it goes over, that's fine, but
Okay.
that's fine.
All right. V. Conley, thanks for the tater chat. He says, greetings to all the cool people hanging out. Thank you. Thank you, Vishay. Zakanan, thanks for the tater chat. He says, Anthony's behind the scenes of his studio setup is awesome.
Thank
It
you.
is. I like all the clean. I mean, it's a collection room. You don't have everything set up yet. But
Right.
even when you do, I feel like it's going to be very uncluttered looking. Like you look behind me, it looks like a mess to me. You know?
Yeah,
Like
I have a problem with that though, because not with what you did with the clutter thing. Like when I was in Texas, I had cabinets similar to these up, and for whatever reason, at one point, I had to put the things in that block the doors out so there's no glass, like you can't see through. And I was like, oh, it's so nice and clean looking in here, not seeing the toys, and I never took them back down until I moved. So it's like I have some like slight OCD something in there where it's like I don't even want to see the collection.
Yeah.
But obviously I have to put it up at some point. So hopefully it's clean. That would be ideal.
It's a good balance. I need to go through my garage and unclutter the garage of all the empty boxes I have. I just need to part with them.
Yeah.
Just throw them
Yeah.
out.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah. True Star Screamer, thanks for becoming a channel member. By the way, channel members, stay tuned for the after show. I got a couple of guests coming on with me over there. We'll start that about, the same 15 minutes after this show ends. Thank you, True Star Screamer. And then David Carlier, thank you for the member chat. He says, hi, Anthony and LP. Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you. All right. Now, let's get into it. So, Marvel Legends, I've been collecting them since day one. Spider-Man Classics, like 2001.
Yeah.
Have you been in for that long?
I started a little bit later. I started with not until Hasbro. I took a big break from collecting, so I didn't start collecting until I guess it would have been the Red Hulk wave with like Wolverine and I don't remember whoever else was in that. But yeah, I've been collecting Marvel Legends for a long time, and I like them. Like I like the idea of them.
Yeah,
mostly. Yeah.
Me too. I mean, I do enjoy collecting Marvel Legends. They're not without their faults. I love your videos. Like just
Well, thank you.
your reviews are so, you really know anatomy, because you'll point things out that I've never noticed, and now I can't unsee it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing.
It doesn't kill, collecting the line for me, but it's definitely like it. I think it's kind of woken me up over the years to like things can be done so much better, and even other lines, especially right now, Jada toys.
Yep.
Jada's kind of putting them to shame. It's like for $25 you got this, or you got this.
No contest.
No contest. All right. Well, let's get into it. Our top 10 worst Marvel Legends of 2024. Now, I don't know if you knew, I have a special talent, a special skill.
I didn't.
I make really good slideshows. My PDFs are excellent. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
I put googly eyes on Justice here.
Primo. It's primo.
Yeah, it's great. All right, so since you're the guest, I'm going to let you go first. And your your
Number 10.
pick is...
Oh, it is Justice. Okay, I'm glad you have my list because I don't remember. I've done so many lists. Yeah, so you want me just to like kind of just go off, or
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
How do we want to do this?
You have the floor.
All right, yeah. So I think this guy's just a really good example of how dorky Hasbro makes their figures. Like Justice does not have the coolest design ever, like at all. I don't even know if most people know who he is. Maybe, but they make everything look so much worse than it has to. And they made a new chest, or at least a new back for this guy. I think he had a new chest. And just look where his shoulders are right now. Could you imagine if your body was built like that? Look where his shoulders are relative to his head. And this guy's just the perfect example. I say that so much in my top 10 list. He's a good example of just how dorky these things look. And I mean, there's not a whole lot special on this guy, so there's not a lot to say, but it's just a repainted crappy body.
This is the first of many Sunfire bodies that I think we're going to see tonight on this list. To me, this Sunfire body, because that's what it is, maybe slightly retooled.
Yeah,
To me, it's the new Bucky Cap. And to be fair, Bucky Cap, that body was actually not that bad. It's just old.
No. Yeah.
Right. This one is actually kind of bad. Like you said, like the low shoulders. His chest is really small. Like he doesn't, I mean, like as you would say in some of your videos, he doesn't have a heroic physique.
Nope. Yeah. No, I look better than that, and I haven't worked out in like 5 years. So it's like, that's not what I'm looking for in my action figures.
Scott Hughes says, is that Justin Timberlake? Justin Timberlake has curly hair. Hey, Ghost Tab, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Anthony. Happy you're doing the stream. Miss ZBrush days.
Oh, yeah. We'll bring those back eventually. Thanks for tuning in, though, Ghost.
Yeah, you were doing epically long live streams sculpting figures on ZBrush. I remember that.
Yeah. A few times a week. That's how I got my whole figure line started, but then I haven't touched it since. So we'll get back to it eventually. Yeah.
I think the last time I had you on the show was, well, it was almost 2 years ago. And you were like, someday. And it's still someday.
Yeah, I've done some work on my own. I just haven't streamed it, but almost none. So the line will happen. I promise someday it'll happen, but it's not today.
All right, so there's Justice from New Warriors. I think it's a newer version of Justice. They always have to do the version that most people don't want, and then they do the classic version later so they can kind of double dip. It's kind of their MO. Yep. All right, so on to my
number 10
pick. And I went with something that is actually all new sculpt, but the fact that they made an all new sculpt and the articulation is so poor. This guy could not look up at all. And I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the movie. These guys are running almost on all fours or all sixes, and they're looking up. They're almost running like dogs, a lot of them. You can't do that with this figure unless I figured out a way to do it where you twist the whole torso around and then push the head around and push it back, and then it looks like he's looking up, but then his chest is his back and his back is his chest. Anyway.
I don't know. That sounds like a feature to me. That sounds like a thing that you are just hating on. That you're supposed to be able to do it. It gives you more versatility, for sure.
I should be thankful.
You should. You should. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with this figure at all. They look nice for a Hasbro product, but yeah, if you can't use them the way they're intended, then it's kind of pointless.
I mean, there you go. I have something positive to say about everything on this list. Most of my picks are based on how much I was let down. Like expectations versus delivery. Not all of them are like that. But this one I was really looking forward to. I love Infinity War and Endgame, those two movies. These guys were in Infinity War. So when they announced the 2-pack, I was excited. Great. I get to fill out that display. More enemies for the good guys to fight. And I got these, and it was a big letdown. And they were expensive. It was a $60 2-pack. They're a little bit bigger than a normal Marvel Legend, but still, that's $30 each. And, Omar says, bonus points for being 5 years late to release.
Yeah.
And by the way, they do the Outriders before they do the Chitauri. They have not done the Chitauri, and they were in the 2012 Avengers movie.
Yeah. Maybe they figure it's too far gone and nobody's going to remember or care. I don't know.
God, I hope not. Toy Gain says this looks like crackhead Venom. Thanks, Toy Gains.
Space Venom.
Spenum. Titan says Outriders should be an Ollie special by this time next year.
Probably.
Now, weren't they? They might have been Hasbro Pulse exclusives, but that does not stop something from becoming an eventual Ollie's peg warmer. We've seen that. No,
before. Don't they sell leftover exclusives or end the sales early and then sell them to, like, Big Bad Toy Store has had plenty of Hasbro Pulse exclusives. I think there's something going on there.
Yeah, whatever they don't sell, I think first it goes to Big Bad and other online retailers, and like with their classified line, their Sergeant Slaughter, that eventually showed up at Ross and Ollie's, and that was a Pulse exclusive. So you will find those at discount stores sometimes. Oh, Mike says they're not. These are not Pulse exclusives. Okay. But either way, you'll find Pulse exclusives at the discount stores sometimes. Do you ever do you hunt discount stores, or you just like you get it, review it, and then you're done?
I get everything for free, don't you know? No.
Oh, of course. Sorry.
That's the new thing. No, I don't get things for free mostly. No. Anyway, I don't hunt the stores because I don't have any near me. Well, there's like one Ross kind of close. They don't have anything, and there's one Ollie's like an hour and a half away. So I don't track any of that kind of stuff down.
Hour and a half. I think the closest Ollie's to me is like 2 days away, a 2-day drive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's worth it for the Legends, though, right?
No. No. I had a friend of mine, Scott, who was, he lives over on the East Coast, and he was in his Ollie's today, and they're doing all Hasbro figures 40% off of their already low prices. So instead of 10, they're $6.
Oh man!
Right? And he's taking pictures.
Even sell them at Ollie's.
Yeah, he's taking pictures of these $6 Marvel Legends, and he's like, "You want any?" I'm like, "No, I'm good."
Not worth it. No.
Even at $6, I don't need MCU. Captain Marvel. Don't need it. I'm good.
But did you see they had the what was it, that Charles Xavier with the helmet on sale the other day on Amazon, and with shipping it was like, I don't know, still $13 or $16 or something. I was like,
Yeah, no, I did get one for $6.72.
Or was it Target, not Amazon? Whatever
it was Walmart, because it was a Walmart exclusive.
Okay. Yeah, right. You got one for $6, but did you pay shipping?
Well, you have to buy enough that shipping is free. So if you spend like $30 or $35, I didn't buy a bunch of them. I got one, but then there was other stuff.
You got 5 of them.
I got one of those, still not delivered. And then I got, what else did I get? It was a bunch of stuff for like under $10. And I was like, for $35, for the free shipping, I was like, I'll do this. Because
that makes sense.
Yeah. I have a whole bin of like fodder, where I'll do like Kit Bash customs and stuff like that.
Right.
All right, so let's move on to our
Number 9.
and there's my beautiful slideshow. And your number
Perfect.
9 pick is
Angel. I thought I'd stir the pot pretty early on in the list.
This is great, man. He had mostly positive reception, so I love seeing that. The differences of opinions on this guy on any figure. Really, it's fun. Go ahead.
All right, so I could be wrong about something here. You can correct me. I didn't check. I didn't look into it because, but this guy did cost more than normal, right? He was like $30 or $35.
30 or 35, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought, and that's why he's here. He costs too much for just being a guy with wings and a new sculpt that's not very good. It's all reused parts again, other than the torso, and the torso's just so-so. And he costs too damn much. So that's really all it is. Like, he's not a terrible figure. He's gonna do fine, but like he'll be okay on the shelf. But for 30 or $35, just because he came with wings, that I don't like that. So
yeah, Suka says Marvel Legends Target employee. He was in my honorable mentions, and I gotta say, dude, there's so many figures on our list tonight that were on Thomas Goes Nostalgic's top 10 that I feel kind of bad. I hope he's not like Thomas is cool. He won't care. But it's just funny.
Well, we'll talk about that when we get to my number 1, because I think, we'll talk about it later.
All right. So
I don't have anything else to say about this. It's just,
yeah. I mean, it's their new Bucky cap. It's the Vulcan body with without the butterfly joints, probably to make room for the wing peg holes and some wings. So,
yep.
All right. Next up, my number
9.
I went with MCU Colossus. Just the lack of articulation in the mid sculpt really limits this guy. That was my biggest problem. Also, some of the proportions of this figure were off to me. So I was really excited to fill out, the Deadpool display because I love those movies. And this was a big letdown. I was very disappointed by this Colossus.
Yeah,
well, he's on your list, so don't give it away.
I'm not saying anything. You just spoiled it. I wasn't gonna.
Oh, I did.
Now we can't. No music to start, and now my list is ruined.
But they
I
don't
might
know.
as well go home.
They don't know where on your list this falls, so it's still a surprise.
It could be the next one. It could be number 1.
Could
no,
be.
I'll say I agree with you. It was disappointing.
Yeah. Well, and it's all new sculpt. It's like I get so frustrated when it's something is all new. It's not reuse, and they don't put in the work just to get it right because then that sculpt exists forever, and they're going to reuse it someday.
Yeah.
So if they ever do this Colossus again, maybe with slight adjustments to make him like Deadpool 2 or whatever, it's going to suck again.
That's the thing. They keep making all these new bodies, and they're not good. They have one comic style body, and that's the Omega Red one. I don't think. Are there any other ones that have like that dynamic physique where everything actually looks comic-y? I don't think there's another one out there.
They're new. It was mostly new. It was he was on Rectangular's top 10. What's his name? It's not Quasar. It's one of the Eternals. I forget his name.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that one was okay.
Yeah.
Was it Icarus? Are you talking about Icarus?
Icarus, that's his name.
Yeah, but that's not a body they can reuse. Doesn't that one have sculpted details? I think it does.
I think you're right. Yeah. Yep. All right. Moving on.
Number 8.
Oh, yeah.
Last Stand
I forgot
Spider-Man.
this guy existed. Man, these lists are doing the Marvel Legends lists every year are such an unpleasant time. It's like, because none of it should be a thing. These shouldn't be that hard to do. It's another one. It made the list because it's an all-new sculpt. I mean, maybe they reused something, but I don't think so. And there's no reason it should suck. It should be excellent.
Yeah.
It's even the design is set up for an ab crunch being cut into it. He's got the red and black lines to hide the cuts. And they didn't give him any torso articulation. He basically has to stand up and lay down to the side in order to be in a pose.
Right. I mean, this is the best crouch pose that this Spider-Man can be in.
It's a falling over pose. Right. It's not. It's standing. It shouldn't be last stand. It should be only I can stand Spider-Man. That wasn't as clever as it should have been. But you get what I'm saying. It's not a Spider-Man figure. It's just a guy in a suit.
Yeah. I mean, Marvel Legends, to me, when the line first started, it was all about posing. It was all about, look at all this articulation, right?
Yep.
You can't put out a Spider-Man figure like this. It's antithetical to the line.
Exactly. Well, their whole line is. I mean,
right.
Which ones can pose really well? Even like the whatever that stupid Spider-Man is with the cut in the back of the neck. Even the super articulated ones don't. Like,
it's just never quite enough. And sometimes I think it's like, is this on purpose? So that you buy another one in a year, you know?
It's that, and they just don't care because nobody's holding them to any sort of standard. Everything that's like not trashed here sells, and like people get hyped about half the figures on this list, and they're not. They shouldn't be in contention for the worst if people are getting excited about them. And I understand, like, people want things of their favorite characters. Sure, whatever, that's collecting. But we have to draw a line somewhere. And if it's a Spider-Man figure that has to stand straight up or fall over, I think that's a good spot to put the line.
Yeah. Yep. All right. And my...
Number 8.
The Hulkbuster. I was really let down by this because I thought it looked good in promos. I was excited to have it. I could not get my chest armor to stay on. Any posing, that thing pops apart and falls off.
Yep.
So frustrating. Same with the head. I try to move that head, it's popping off. That's why this is on my list. It was a big letdown for me. It looks cool like this. You put it on your shelf like this, it looks cool. If you can look past the swirly twirly gold plastic and all that, the sculpt itself is fine. But again, you go to move it, and by the way, my the diaphragm on mine, where you can swivel and twist and all that, and at the diaphragm, it's all spongy. So if I can articulate it, and it'll spring back partway, like I'm stressing the plastic. So just a big disappointment. And people have been waiting for an updated Hulkbuster since the last time they did it, which was Toy Biz. I'm not counting MCU. So
right.
Yeah.
For me, this one wasn't like. I think it definitely needs a bigger chest to match the source material, and if it had that, I could excuse the flaws. But like you said, the chest doesn't stay on. And when I reviewed this, I got a bunch of people, as usual, in the comments saying, "Well, it comes off because you have the sculpted detail, and you didn't even talk about the sculpted. Like, it doesn't look good." And I'm not buying Hulkbuster to take his chest off. It looks like a gimmick. Like I want Hulkbuster to look like Hulkbuster, and I want the chest on it, and it doesn't stay. And then you mentioned it briefly, the swirly plastic is super swirly on the abdomen, right next to painted plastic, which obviously the paint looks way better down by his crotch. So yeah, it was like you said, just not good enough, not even close.
Impossible Pie says, what causes the marbling in the plastic? So from what I've been told by Bobby, is that they add like a metallic... They add something metallic into the plastic to make it shinier, but it doesn't mix well or something, and so that's why you get all the swirls and twirls.
Yeah, it's basically metal flake, and then it's tiny. It's like mica powder. That might even be what they use in the factories. I don't know, but yeah, you swirl it in, and it just doesn't stay swirled. The only way to do it properly, if you're going to do that, is to coat the molds, and you're not going to do that when you're making 10,000. So you're going to get the swirls.
Yeah. Emmanuel, I'm happy that yours is fine and that the armor never pops off. That's great. All right. Now we can move on to...
Number 7.
I mean, the production on this show is just next level.
I like that every number is still justice. That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to make it, a bunch of different... Yeah. It was easier just to use the same one over.
It's perfect. He suits it. It's perfect. I
put googly eyes on him.
Yeah. It looks better that way.
Yeah, it's old school YouTube. Googly eyes on everything.
Well, now you need to do the open mouth thing. You have to open your mouth as wide as possible on the thumbnail to do that.
With the red arrow.
Red arrow, open mouth, and say like put something in caps like other than the character's name in the title, and you got it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Next. You're number 7. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What is this character called again? Red Widow.
Red Widow.
Right?
Yep.
That. Yeah. So it's like, if you're gonna make a cape like that, maybe just don't make the figure is what I'm thinking, because it just has to stand there again. The Marvel Legends, it's like you said, they were supposed to be hyper articulated action figures. This is just a block of red plastic. Like, there's some clean paint on it, I guess, but the reason this thing bothers me the most, besides the fact that you can't pose it really, is that shoulder boob. Why did they put the shoulder boob on there? That's just put a hole in it and make it look right. They just do weird stuff. I don't get it.
Yeah, and they are like adverse to soft goods. And even when they do soft goods, like the material they use is weird. Like the Storm capes that they've used is.
Well, the other thing is they could do softer plastic, like Jada's doing soft plastic. You can do really soft PVC, or even some of these other polymers that are like half silicones and things like that. There's all kinds of materials they could use. They just don't, because it costs money. And what's the point? I really would love to know if anybody really wanted this character and they bought it. Why? Like, are you enjoying it? I'm curious, genuinely curious if people enjoy things like this. I don't see the point.
There's definitely people that wanted it because she was the last one to complete the Winter Guard team. The one with the big bear.
Oh, I don't mean the character so much. Just as once they saw the figure, if you were like, oh, that's good enough for me. I get wanting the character. That makes sense.
Right.
But is there enough there? For me, it's not even close.
Yeah. And it's like, we've talked before about the Marvel Legends, or I'm sorry, not Legends, but the Marvel license going to another company.
Mm-hmm.
And would that be a good thing? Well, I think it would also have its drawbacks. It would be good, like, let's say it went, and I'm not saying it's going to go to Jada, and Jada could not put out the volume that Hasbro does, not even close. But let's say it goes to Jada. I don't see another company going to D, E, Z-list characters like Hasbro does. And I think that it would be a difficult balance to find a way to do it without all the reuse that we see in the line. But see, something like this, they could have done it different so that she could pose. So I don't know.
Well, so the thing is, like, the depth is their strong suit right now. I've heard Dwight talk about this. Like, they're going for 1,000 cheap figures to get the depth every year, rather than making a handful of really good ones. And yeah, that's fine. That's a fair enough plan. But you could find some closer to the middle ground where maybe you don't go as deep every year, and you make something that's actually worth and enjoyable to own. This figure can't pose. There's no shading or paint or anything on the majority of it, so it just looks like a red hunk of plastic. It doesn't look like a collectible, so the depth is there. Is it worth it? For me, personally, and it's obviously everybody can choose for themselves, it's not. Like, I don't care. I want it to look good, or I don't want it. It doesn't matter who the character is.
Yeah. I love the world building of Marvel Legends. I hope Chad heard that. But I love the world building of it, the depth of characters. My issue is the corners that are cut to get there. And I don't think all those corners need to be cut. Like, they just sculpted a new Luke Cage, and they gave him that swivel waist. And I'm like, this is an all-new sculpt. Why not just put a ball joint there? It's not more parts. It's not extra cost. It's just a different sculpt.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the only cost, there could be, just real quick, sorry,
sure.
Just because people ask me these kind of questions all the time, it could technically cost a little bit more for the ball, even though it's a simpler joint, because if you have a loose ball, or it's a lot harder to make a ball joint not loose. Whereas the swivels, you just slap them together and it doesn't really matter. And so they're just being lazy, I think, is really what it is. They don't want to spend the time, which is money. So I guess you're still right. I'm wrong. Carry on.
Okay. Zakana says, make sure to hit the like button as much as Chad hates the devil's scale. And then, we got a super chat here. Well, first let me go to Slink. He says, Anthony, what's up? Let him know about the Memory Toys Medi Toys.
I mean, what am I saying? I
That they're
review
good?
some of those. Yeah, I like them. The ones I have, I like. I don't know who Slink is, so I'm not sure what he's referencing specifically. But yeah, cool. They're good stuff. It seems mostly the ones I've seen.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I've been buying them.
Mhm.
Definitely check out Memory Toys. You can find them on 5K and like VC Toys Box and other like import websites. And then my buddy Scott Hughes. Scott, thank you very much for the super chat. He says, I am officially starting the 3POA Christmas Thank You Fund. Thank you, Ryan, for the endless free entertainment. We all know it's not easy to run a channel. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Thank you, Scott Hughes. Super nice.
Hey, happy Festivus, everyone!
I appreciate that, man. All right. Finally, Anthony, someone recognizes how hard it is to run a YouTube channel. All right, moving on to my number 7.
Ooh.
I know this guy is on a lot of people's top 10s, but I was big time let down by him when he showed up. And again, they retooled the body. So this is the second time this figure's been released, but they retooled him to have the diaphragm ball joint, right? With the lower ab crunch, like this new. It's not even new. It's just kind of the way they're going with Spider-Man figures sometimes. And they also gave him a double ball peg neck, right? One in the neck, one in the head. He cannot look up. So these Venom, you can't crouch him and have him look up. He's looking at the ground. Granted, I know how to modify it. I can scrape out extra plastic to get that peg up. But that's not the point. Again, it's new tooling, and it's not done right. Limited articulation. I mean, they can't do the double ball peg in the neck right. They haven't done it right yet, I don't think.
No.
They resorted to cutting a slit in the back of Spider-Man's neck instead of just doing it right.
Man.
Because I'm actually on your side in the whole like disc hinge versus double ball peg. I'm on the double ball peg team. That's what I like. You know, over a disc hinge. But it has to be done right, and Hasbro hasn't done it right yet.
Yeah.
And that's why he's on my top 10 worst.
It's safe to say every joint kind of has to be done right in order to work.
True.
So they should. I mean, they should be able to do ball sockets. I don't know. If you ever had a Ninja Turtles figure like 30 years ago, they had ball sockets. It's been figured out for a while. I don't know how Hasbro has trouble now.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. I didn't get this Venom yet, so I'm glad to know I'm not missing out. I probably should track it down still because I like the Spider-Man characters, but it looks to me like you said, they updated the chest, but they still have that goofy trap to shoulder area that is just really weird from that Omega Red body, even though they changed it.
Yeah,
so that's a thing.
Yeah.
How'd they fix it and still make it bad?
There you go.
How did that happen?
It was so bad that I sent my extra one to Mad Hatter Reviews. Thanks for the super chat. He says, my Laser Pants figure sucks. The pants aren't even made of real laser. Merry Christmas, boys.
Hey, happy Festivus, everyone!
Thank you, Mad Hatter. I agree. The Laser Pants figure must suck because I don't think it exists. But I appreciate that super chat. Thanks, Mad Hatter. I guess. Do you ever watch Mad Hatter? He's pretty funny sometimes.
I almost watch zero YouTube. I just have no time right now. So it's like I catch whatever I can, but barely at all.
All right, before we move on to number 6, John Garrett, thanks for the member chat. He says, do both of you think Marvel Legends figures are better this year than the past? I think character selection has been good. They've been completing teams, and the ones that are good are good, in my opinion. Like my top 10, I was really happy with.
Yeah.
I think character selection's better. Go ahead.
I would agree with you. I think the good ones have been pretty good. We're not talking top 10, so and I haven't published either of these. So, by the way, you're getting a preview of, or not a preview, an early screening of my top 10 worst Marvel Legends. That's what this is right now. I haven't published that video, so I'm going to get zero viewership on that video now. We've ruined it.
Works for me.
The top 10 list, like you said, there's some solid releases this year, and it's probably a stronger year for the good ones. But I do think the bad ones are pretty darn bad. So maybe it's a more disparate year than it is a good year. But maybe.
It almost feels like this year there was less. I think was there less releases, more like straight reissues.
Yeah, I think so. I said the same thing in my video, actually. It seems like there was a lot less, unless I just didn't buy a bunch of stuff, but I don't think that happened. So I think you're right.
I mean, there was only 3 Build-A-Figure waves, and none of them were at retail. Oh, well, they might have been at GameStop. 3? Yeah. There was Zabu.
Who else?
The Void.
Oh, yeah, I didn't review that. I have it. Oops.
And Darkheart. Or Blackheart.
Blackheart. Was it really only those 3? That is a weird year. That's a super weird year. Huh.
Why make a Build-A-Figure when you can just sell it separate and make more money, you know?
That's true. So, although, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take, like, because we're not doing the top 10, so it doesn't matter. Like Wolverine, the Astonishing Wolverine, even with its flaws, or the Superior Spider-Man, I'll take a better figure without a BAF part any day of the week. That's fine with me. I think they should go that route if they're going to go that route. That's fine. Yeah.
Both of those. Well, Astonishing Wolverine was in my top 10, but the Superior Spider-Man only made it to my honorable mention. Thank you, John, for the member chat. And yeah, Anthony, this show's gotten kind of weird since the last time you've been on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
See, Anthony, we like to party. And we party when Figure Fight Club with an insane super chat. Thank you so much, Figure Fight Club. He says, for the Christmas fund, cherry popped for plane super chat. He is on an airplane right now, flying back to the East Coast. Thank you so much. He paid for the Wi-Fi on the plane. Not cheap, everyone, but thank you so much, Figure Fight Club, for that super chat. I appreciate you. I appreciate you very much, my friend. He just uploaded a video on Friday. His Figure Fight Club is live on Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern. So check out his channel.
Happy Festivus!
Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Figure Fight Club.
Very
all right.
Cool.
And then I already read Matt Hatter's. And Suka, thank you so much, Suka. Adding to the 3PO Christmas run. You guys don't have to do that. Thank you, though. He says, I hope Santa empties his entire sack on you. Okay. For all your hard work, maybe you can even ride his sleigh. Cheers. Best podcast on YouTube. Oh, Suka.
It's a Festivus miracle.
Thank you so much, man. Best podcast on YouTube is quite high praise, and I appreciate that very much. But I agree. It is the best podcast on YouTube. Right, Anthony?
Definitely. For sure.
That's why I had you
that
on.
thumbnail / slideshow thing, whatever it is, you can't beat that. You don't get better than that, guys.
Changing the game forever.
Did you make those googly eyes yourself? Was that a white dot with a black dot that you placed?
No, it was a sticker in PixArt. Yeah.
You're supposed to say yes, man. You're putting the extra effort in making your own eyes. Come on.
Hold on. I'll edit this out. Okay. So starting now. Yes, it is. I did do that. There we go.
Very nice.
Thomas Goes Nostalgic. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, if my top 10 list made it easy to build your top worst slides, and I am just happy to bring some Christmas cheer. Thomas, I had most of my worst list already done last week when we did our top 10. So when I saw yours, mine was pretty much done. But there was one change that I made to mine. But thank you so much, Thomas. And I appreciate you not being all butthurt like so many tend to do when you disagree with them about action figures.
You can't disagree on the internet.
You can't. And then Zakanen.
Happy Festivus!
With the Festivus fund. Thank you, Zakanen. He gets it. It's all about Festivus. He says, also, guys, stop super chatting. Let Anthony talk. Yeah. As my kid would say, let him cook. That's that Generation Alpha slang.
That's that new stuff. Yeah.
I got a 14-year-old. Wait till yours
How
is
old
14.
are you?
I'm 43.
Are you really? Well, you look
Yeah,
good,
I
man.
am.
Hey, I
Thanks.
look older than you. Look at this. Listen, I've been turning white for like 10 years now. I think I'm 37 now, and I might as well look 50. I don't know what to do. I don't want to put dye in it, but I look old as heck.
My
Father
mom is
Christmas.
my mom is nearing 70. Sorry, Mom, if you're watching. No gray hair. It's just just genetics. I have
It's
some
just the
gray hair in my
genes.
beard that doesn't show up on camera, but yeah. Alrighty, let's get back to it. So our numbers. Sorry, I can't say that with words. I have to.
Number 6.
There we go. Your number 6, Anthony.
Oh yeah, 97 Magneto / Moon Knight cape. Yeah. It's just another one of those ones where it's like it's so close to being good. The head sculpts are pretty good. They did some new sculpting, and it still looks dorky to me. I just don't want the figures to look dorky. And this Marvel Legends list, the bad ones, it's hard for me because they all kind of have the same problem, and then some of them are worse, of course. It just doesn't look like the character looks in my head or even really in the source material. I think this one specifically, if you look at the packaging, it shows him like standing in like a 3/4 view with his hand out, and he's actually shaped, like a comic character. And the figure just looks so skinny and wimpy in comparison. Yeah, that's all.
I mean, I will say it looks like the shoulders they sculpted for this are an improvement over some of their buck bodies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
Still
sure.
really long monkey-like arms.
Monkey arms, skinny body, no chest really.
Yeah.
He's built like Michael Phelps.
Right. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Superhero proportions are exaggerated in this. As you often put it, they often look like dudes in cosplay, which is exactly what the new Superman looks like. Have you seen the trailer?
Can we talk about that for a minute? Should we stir the pot some more?
Let's do it, because I see all this. Guys, it's not dark and negative like Zack Snyder, and I would agree with that, mostly, because I'm no Snyder fan. But that suit looks bad. It looks bad.
It looks really bad. It looks worse than every CW version, every version ever.
Yeah.
The Brandon Routh one looked better than this, and I thought he looked corny when he came out. Is that his name? That's his name.
Brandon Routh, yeah.
Yeah, and like you mentioned Zack Snyder, it turns into these. Everybody turns it into, oh, you're a Zack Snyder fanboy, or you're a James Gunn fanboy. I don't like either of them because they're both kind of one-trick ponies, and sure they're good at what they do, but whatever, I don't care. There's no replacing Henry Cavill, if you ask me, and I don't have some thing for him. It's just he really looked like Superman. That's it. The suit was better. The actor was better. The movies, some people loved Man of Steel. Some people didn't. The other ones definitely weren't good. But I don't think the recast is a good look. I don't think the guy looks good. I don't think the suit looks good. I think the guy looks dorky as hell. I'm sorry.
Listen,
I know I'm no Superman, but...
If I ran into Henry Cavill at a bar, right, I would feel intimidated, like, oh, steer clear of this guy. He's going to beat my ass.
I thought you were going to say you'd give him a little kiss or something.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I was gay, I'm not gay. I'm definitely not gay. But, if I ran into this other guy, David Cornsweet, I think his name, I wouldn't look twice, because it's like, oh, that's just a dude. He probably works in an office with a pencil.
Yeah. Nope, not my thing. I don't care about the colors. I don't care if it's bright. I don't care if it's dark. I just want the movie to be good, and if it is, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
There you go.
I think they really screwed up the color grading in the trailer. Everything was blue and orange, like really blue and orange, and it's just too much. I don't know. I don't like that, but otherwise, who cares? Just make a good movie.
Make a good movie. I will say I appreciate the color palette over Zack Snyder's movies. I don't like Zack Snyder's. What's that?
You don't like black? Solid black for everything?
It's like it was like it was supposed to be some big deal when Superman showed up in a black suit, and I'm like, in the comics he had the black suit for a reason. It was a Kryptonian regeneration suit, right?
Yeah.
In this one, it was like, guys, I brought my fancy clothes to the fight today. It's like, what was the point of that stupid suit? And they all just look dark, and I didn't like the look of that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't hate it, but it was like it didn't serve a purpose. Like so much in a Zack Snyder movie doesn't serve a purpose. Like 3-minute long panning shots until you get
Every shot.
and half the movie in slow motion. Don't need it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, it's like I said, they're one trick pony. Everything Zach does is dark and slow motion, and there's some really excellent stuff, but then there's that, and then everything James Gunn does is a team up, goofy cast of characters thing. And how many characters were in the trailer for Superman? Can we count them? It's like 50 or something.
Metamorpho, Guy Gardner, Hot Girl, not Mr. Fantastic.
Terrific.
Mr. Terrific.
Yeah.
I said Lex Luthor. Crypto. I actually like Crypto. Everyone's like, oh, you don't like Crypto. No, I like Crypto. I think seeing Crypto was cool. I'm fine that Crypto wasn't a Labrador. I thought that's fine. He should have flown in, but I get the idea. Okay, he's gonna run in. You see this, the snow. Okay, you wanted that visual. Crypto flies. James Gunn. He should have flew in.
Yeah.
I like the bright colors of it, but just everything just looked like a bunch of normal people in cosplay. It looked like I was at Comic-Con, and I saw dudes walking around taking pictures with chicks way out of their league.
Yep, that's what it looked like. And there's a kaiju now. That's a thing, right?
I'm all for fighting a kaiju. I got nothing against that.
I think it's going to be the very beginning, and it's going to be destructive, and it's going to be everybody's mad at Superman for the destruction. That's my guess. And if that's the case, it's such a cliche trope that I don't want that to happen. I really hope that's not the case.
I hear you. Yeah, that's why he had the soup can thrown at his head or whatever it was.
Yeah, and then did you see the people talking about the flinch? He flinches when the can hits.
He did.
And I'm thinking, like, okay. And the argument is, well, you would flinch too. I'm like, not if a piece of dust landed on me. I mean, he's Superman. The can's not going to do anything.
Yeah. Anyway,
Man.
So we just pissed off 3/4 of the internet. That's fine. I don't care.
Hey, you're getting the rage clicks or whatever they call it now.
Yeah. I don't actually feel this way. I'm doing this for hate clicks.
Right. I hope the movie's good, by the way. I think it might be good. I don't like a lot of the changes, but it's not because of color or because of James Gunn or whatever. It's just different, and we'll see. But I'm going to miss Henry Cavill. That's for sure.
Same. Here we go. Blake Tarpley, thanks for the tater chat. Gave $1,000 in your name, LP, to the Human Fund. You get it? It's a Seinfeld thing. The Human Fund.
I don't remember that.
I love Seinfeld. It's the greatest sitcom ever made. It's
I
better
would
than
agree.
MASH. Yeah.
Should we talk about not liking Friends? No, we don't need to get into that. That's usually the argument, right? Is Seinfeld versus Friends? Is that a thing? I thought that was a thing.
It might
Maybe
be.
not.
I never cared for Friends either. I like Seinfeld. My sisters liked Friends. So, like, to me, Friends was always the girl show.
Oh, I see.
That was,
Gotcha.
that's how I, but that's fine. If, people like girl shows that are dudes, that's fine. Whatever. All right, back to our list after that little tangent on Superman. Okay, so yours was Magneto and mine is Quicksilver. Why?
There you go.
Because it's just a recolor of the same buck they did before. Again, Sunfire body. Are we seeing a pattern here? Also, look at art of Quicksilver running. It's always knife hands. He didn't come with knife hands. He came with weird, no one would ever make this with their hands pose hands. I don't know
Why
what
did those
this
hands
is.
become a thing? Why does every figure have these hands? I don't get that.
Even when you relax your hands, they're just, right? It's never, I don't know what that is. So,
I don't know.
Again, Sunfire body, big floppy feet. I think this head might have been smaller than the last one, but still, it's just lazy. Ramen Toy. What's up, Ace? He says, love the description of the hands. Good. I'm glad. All right. Moving on.
Number 5.
We are halfway through the list now. Anthony, your number 5 pick for worst Marvel Legend of the year. Moon Knight.
That shows it right there. I mean, I'm gonna say the same thing. Every single thing that comes up is it's not. How far apart are his legs? Like, no comic book character who's a man, and even the women, there's no thigh gap like that in the comics. It's not
No.
a thing. It's not a thing
Muscular
at all.
legs don't leave room for a thigh gap, right?
Well, yeah, these guys don't have the muscular legs and a big thigh gap, so they all end up looking like, well, we're going to get to that later in the list, I think, if I remember my list at all. But it's normal guys don't look that dorky. If you're just a regular average guy, your hips don't stick out the sides of your pelvis, and your thigh gap isn't like that, and your shoulders don't come out down here.
They don't come out of your rib cage, yeah.
And then that's the Magneto cape, I guess. That just makes his head look even taller. So it's
that's so funny. I never noticed that before. That is the Magneto cape.
Yeah.
Who had it
Yeah, it's
first?
supposed
Him
to
or
go over
Magneto?
the shoulders too. Magneto came out way before this guy, didn't he? Or did I get him late? Maybe.
Well,
no, this guy came out recently.
Yeah, this is recent, but it's just a recolor of an older Moon Knight. Maybe
Is
the older
cape
Moon Knight
on
had a
the
different...
older. Yeah, I think it was a different cape. I'm pretty sure. You might be right. But this guy should have, I mean, like, at least most of the time, the cape that comes down, like Batman cape, like over the shoulder, at least a little bit to the side, not whatever that is.
Yeah. Impossible Pie says maybe the gap is for his bulge.
There's no bulge. There's not enough bulge. And I've never said that before. And I've said it tonight for the first time public, live. Not enough bulge.
It is a different cape. There you go. Thank you, Mike Joseph. So they put the Magneto cape on this Moon Knight. So it's not 100% reuse. And by the way, I have to say this, and I've said it a million times. I'm not against reuse. That's part of action figure. We all know that there's reuse. There's going to be reuse regardless. Every line has reuse. I'm okay with reuse. It's the body itself being reused. That's the problem.
I think probably Hasbro does it too. You know what's funny is back when, do you remember the DC Universe Classics line back in the day?
Absolutely.
It got a lot of flack. It got a lot of flack for the amount of reuse. And I thought it was good because they were mostly good sculpts and they all matched. They all looked good together. Hasbro's doing a lot of reuse, maybe even the same amount. And I don't hear the complaints from the same people. But also, like you said, Hasbro's reusing bad stuff. And then they make a new one. Like even the Vulcan body, it's not very good. It's okay. And they reuse it for everything.
Yeah.
Just make a good one if you're going to do it, and then everybody will be happy.
Yeah, the Vulcan body, to me, it was a welcome change to the Bucky cap because, God, that thing was old. I think the last time they used it was last year, which made it 12 years old, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
But the replacement for it, which is the Vulcan body, they should have gone the extra mile just to dial everything in and get it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it's better overall. I mean, Bucky was good. He had the really crazy leg proportions, but it was a good body. That's why they used it so much.
Yeah.
And this one's good. But
not
for
this
a new
one, not
body
this Moon Knight, not this Sunfire.
No.
Yeah.
The Vulcan. It's good enough is the right way to put it, I guess. Like, just really go to town. If it's going to be a new reused body, make it like as good as you can make it. Milk 12 years and then get a new one. Don't make average with the arm cuts, by the way, for every freaking figure, like Jungle Man with the arm cuts. What's his name? I can't think of his name.
Jungle Man with the arm cuts?
The Zabu guy. Zabu's owner.
Oh, yeah. Kazar.
Yes. He's got those arm cuts in his bare arms because they're using the Vulcan arms. And I hate that stuff. I hate it.
Yeah, it's weird. All right. Boy, I cannot get to the top of this chat. It does not want me to get up there. All right, we can move on to mine, and it is it's Spider Shot. This is the we've seen this body before, but for some reason on Spider Shot or Spider Assassin, whatever they called him, they put in like a bigger ball peg or something, a longer peg at the hips. So there's like proportionately like a foot of gap between each thigh.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
This photo, you picked a very generous photo for this figure because if he turned, you could fit another figure in there.
Yeah, he could. There's a lot of space in between his thighs. Hey, Brahman Toy, thank you for the member chat. He says, here's wishing everyone happy holidays and best is yet to come New Year. Listening while on the road, running Sunday errands. Have a great stream. So, you know Ace, he's over there in China. And so it's Sunday morning for him. Thank you, Ace, so much.
Hey, happy Festivus, everyone!
I do appreciate you, man, and I look forward to what's to come from the Musk. And also, 2025, as far as the new year, he's got some vans coming out, which I'm really looking forward to. I think they're still up for pre-order at ramentoy.com, I think. But, he's making it happen in the 112 vehicle world, which, oh my God, dude, this year's been crazy. I've gotten a lot of 112 vehicles, and they are big, and they take up a lot. I just got the Tomy DeLorean time machine. I don't know if you're buying any 112 vehicles.
They're way too big. No.
Dude.
No.
I've gotten,
they're huge.
I've gotten the Vanguards. I got the Stinger and the Vamp. I got the DeLorean now, the Robo Skull. They're taking up a lot of room.
Yeah. I got a motorcycle. I got the McFarlane motorcycle for Red Hood. I guess it's technically like 1/10 scale, but that's enough. I don't need. They're too damn big. I can't. Where am I going to put that? Where are you going to put that? You're not putting it in one of those detolfs back there.
No. So my detolf this section of my room is not quite half of the size of this room, and it's all toys. So gotcha. I do have room for what I have now. I just have to rework some things. But yeah, we'll see how much room I have when I get the van that I ordered from Rom. I actually got the A-Team van. Well, it's totally not the A-Team van though. And I got well, I don't remember. Okay. Marquise Dina, thank you for the super chat. AC's end of year lists are the GOAT.
Thank you.
That means greatest of all time. It's an acronym.
It does. I was cooking, and I'm the GOAT. That's what I've been told. I've been told those things.
You're the GOAT that cooks.
That's right.
Yeah. Thanks for the super chat there, Marquise Dina. Okay. Oh, I got to go over to my soundboard and Number 4 worst Marvel Legends of the year. Anthony's pick. Dracula. Yeah. I've heard nothing but good things about Dracula. I don't have it, but go ahead.
A lot of people told me how great it was, and you picked a very nice photo for it. I'll give you that. But I don't suppose you have the ability to like Google an image and put it on the stream.
Totally.
Can you do that? Let's look up the comic version of this guy, because it's kind of important for why he's on the list.
Oh, you want the comic, like an image?
Yeah, right. Just an image like from the comics. It's very different from the figure.
Okay.
Hopefully it pops up quick. If not, we'll just talk about it.
No. I've got it. I just got to click this button here, and then go up, and then click that button, and then that one, and then this one, and it's on the screen now.
Yeah, he looks so cool in the comic, and well, they get the idea. They're all on the internet. They can look it up, but he just looks so cool and imposing. Like, that's not a traditional Dracula. And I get that Hasbro kind of got there, but no, it's the skinny, wimpy version again. And the face doesn't look the same. It doesn't look like a cool Dracula. It looks like an old guy wearing a cape. So,
yeah.
It's just like it's all new stuff, like almost literally all new stuff, and it's just not enough. That photo makes it look way better, I think, than it does in person because you can't see much. But I was not satisfied with the level of imposition he gave off. He wasn't imposing, and he should have been.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see what you're saying. This whole wave, I passed on. This was the Blackheart Build-A-Figure. And I decided to pass on it when I think it was your review or X-Manny's review of Blackheart, because I was really just interested in the Blackheart. But then I saw that it couldn't stand.
People were.
Yeah. None of the characters in the wave I really wanted. The Wolverine looks kind of cool, but it's like I don't really need a Wolverine with his, head on fire. But yeah, so I passed on this wave, but where was I going with that? I don't know. So Dracula. Yeah, there it is.
It was a weak wave. That's one thing everybody
Yeah.
said that I talked to. It was a horrible wave. Character selection was not good, just because of Blackheart. And then Blackheart wasn't good. So you're right. Wasn't a good thing.
Mike Joseph says, I got this Dracula and Brother Voodoo. That Brother Voodoo was wild because it was like the third time they've done that version of Brother Voodoo. And it's
Yeah.
like, how many people are clamoring for Brother Voodoo, let alone 3 different figures of the same version? It was just a weird choice.
It is the first 2 were the same body. This one's new body, but it's still the same thing. And the first ones were fine. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I got it, but I haven't taken it out of the box, and I'm not gonna.
And that's a great point, Mooncake. They will undoubtedly release Blackheart as a deluxe eventually. They've been doing that a lot lately. And then re-releasing deluxes. And what they're doing Strong Guy as a deluxe. And Strong Guy, that whole wave, I think you can still get it for under retail. So whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's been on sale forever since it came out.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So
man.
my number 4 is the Spider-Man from the Spider-Man and Vulture 2-pack based on the animated series. Again, I got this 2-pack kind of like, I think there was a live stream and then they put it up for pre-order. I was like, oh, I need that. There's the Vulture and a new animated Spider-Man. I didn't look too close. Ordered it. Got it. Sunfire body. I'm like,
Yep.
I thought it was the newer one, the Renew Your Vows, right?
Nope.
For no reason at all, they went back to the Sunfire body. I was dumbfounded. Granted, I like the new head sculpt. I like the colors of it, and I like the Peter and the Flash Thompson head sculpt. That's all great. But to stick in the Sunfire body for no reason when they have two superior Spider-Man bodies in the line already, the Amazing Fantasy 15, which granted is probably too small for animated Spider-Man, although they used that body for animated Spider-Man before.
They did.
And also the Renew Your Vows body, which, while flawed, is still better, in my opinion, than the Sunfire body, which is here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what I think it is? And this is just me tinfoil hatting, but I think they have to get a certain amount of use out of each mold. In terms of the pencil pushers before they get to make new molds, or at least in terms of planning to make new molds. And so I think when something like this comes up, they know people are going to buy it. So they're like, yeah, just use that mold again so we can say we got our money's worth out of it. And that's super frustrating because I want that. Like, animated Spider-Man is my thing as far as Spider-Man goes. It's my favorite version, not counting like the McFarlane artwork or I guess Bagley or whatever. But I didn't buy this. I'll get it eventually at some point, I suppose. But you can see the crotch gap, even on the normal ones, is still huge, or thigh gap.
Yeah.
And look at where the shoulders are. Just freaking don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Matt with 2T says, has mask. Have mask will Sunfire. Yep. No, it's Flash. That's what I said. Flash. Peter and Flash head sculpt in there. Did I say something else? Did I say?
I thought that's what you said.
I thought I said Flash. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, big disappointment for me. I was looking forward. The Vulture in the 2-pack I actually really liked. The animated style Vulture, but this one was just like, come on, guys.
Did he not come with wall crawling hands? He doesn't have wall crawling hands in it? What about webbing?
No, this is what he came with right here. So
man.
He came with grip hands to grab the mask, and I think that was the first time they've done the mask that he can hold. And then thwip and fist, but no wall crawling. Yeah, thank you. I thought I did. Maybe he's talking to someone else. This 2-pack is expensive now. I saw that the animated Daredevil and Hydro Man, people are selling that for over $100. That 2-pack.
Oh yeah,
Crazy.
I didn't get that one either. I'll wait. They'll reissue it eventually.
Sure, that's like half of their business now is reissuing old stuff. It seems like.
Yep.
And yes, Sakanen, thank you. He says, after show tonight, shenanigans and hijinks will ensue. It will. We are doing an after show for channel members when this ends. Okay. Moving on then.
Number 3.
Our number 3 pick for worst Marvel Legends of the year, Anthony.
What is it? Oh, Spider Shot.
There's a shot
there
you wanted.
You gave me the photo I wanted, which I didn't ask for, and I'd rather not look at, but it's there.
This makes me uncomfortable. It's like, what's going on in his crotch?
You know what the thing is that bothers me, I think, more than anything about this figure is that there are still people defending it. How can we expect to get good figures when we get these and people are happy with it?
Yeah.
It's not like, enjoy it. If you want to enjoy it, fine, but don't say it's good because then they're not going to make them better.
Right.
That's the problem. That there is literally enough room for a third leg, and I'm not making a wiener joke. It's like actually enough room. That's not okay.
Where does an actual spider shoot web from? Maybe that's what this guy does. Yeah.
I don't. That's going to go in the wrong direction, so I'm going to leave that one alone. But I'm pretty sure somebody told me, I don't know anything about this character, and I'm sure he doesn't have legs that look like that, so we don't have to say, oh, well, you don't even know. But that the shooting thing isn't even in the right spot on his hand. Is that a thing? That's what I've been told, that they screwed up the main feature.
I don't know
about that?
I don't remember this guy from the Spider-Verse comic. I did read it. Yeah, I have the trade Spider-Verse, the whatever. I don't remember this guy, but apparently he was on like one page of the comic.
It was an important page, very important panel. That
super, one. Yeah. I might be wrong about that. Yes, Assassin Spider-Man or Spider Shot. I've seen it called both.
Yeah.
There's
nothing else to say about it. You can see there's not. It's right there.
It's right here. There it is. Nice birthing hips on this guy.
That guy could birth an elephant. What the heck?
I went with for my number. This is number 3, right? Yes. My number 3. I went with the Giant Man from the 2-pack. Now, the other figure in this 2-pack, the Wasp, I put in my top 10. But this one again, there's that pattern. There's that Sunfire body. That's a huge thigh gap too. Not as much as Spider Shot, but it's still pretty glaring. All the same complaints about the Sunfire body that we've said before. Also, his head is huge. Look how freaking huge his head is.
Don't you understand, man? It's not real people. It's comics. It's okay that he has a big head and a thigh gap like that. It's supposed to be that way.
Marvel Legends heads usually run large, but this is to me it's bigger than usual. This is like the first Quicksilver they did big, which was huge. This is just freaking huge.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Giant Man from the 2-pack. That's my my number 3. Omar says, "God damn." Yeah. All right. Oh, look at this. We got Zakanen here. There it is. With 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Zakanen. I did not see who got those, but maybe I can scroll up. I can. Old Grumpy Nerd, Fig Fan Samurai, Machu Toy, Aaron Ballantine, and White Vegeta. Welcome to channel membership. If you guys are watching, tune into the after show. You are now channel members. Thanks to Zakanen. Thank you, Zakanen, so much. I'm telling you, Anthony, the production on this show is second to none. I got metal music.
Is that what music sounds like when you
dance
play
music?
it?
I got slide.
Because I didn't get music when I started the show today.
Sorry. I'll never live that one down. I could just keep it playing in the background.
No, it's too much of a loop. No, I mean, for free music that came with my editing software, it is quite nice, I have to say.
Yeah, it's subtle. All right. Thank you, Zakanen. All right, moving on from this. Oh, we are all the way down to our
number 2
pick for worst Marvel Legends of 2024. This has been fun so far. I'm almost disappointed we're almost over. The list is almost done.
Too.
And you went with MCU Colossus for your number 2.
I did. It's for the reasons you said. It doesn't look right, and it's an all-new sculpt. So what the heck? Like, most of the time when I'm looking at Legends, I'm just going, I don't get it. What's going on here? Because it's all new. Literally every part of this is brand new. And it's not like they're making it before the movie came out. It's not like concept art that they're going off of. The movie's been out for 20 years now, and it's not even close. I thought it was close when I opened it, and I was like, well, it looks weird, but it's got to be close. It's not close. His body is not shaped like this even a little bit in the movie. In fact, the movie doesn't look great because of the way his legs are, but this doesn't look right at all, and it doesn't pose. The torso's terrible, if I remember correctly.
The torso barely crunches at all, which was my big issue with it. Even more so than the proportions, which I'm going to bring up a picture from the movie.
Yes, please do.
Let me just get this on screen here.
Not this. It's not this. The head's good, by the way. The head sculpt is pretty dang good.
Yeah. But you can even see like the thickness in his wrists and just the overall size, the proportion of his arms to body, and then that. Yeah.
And that's a pretty generous photo too, really, but it's still not even close.
Yeah. Man, I Google it and I get mostly action figure pictures. Here he is in the movie. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So, Colossus, you made it on both of our lists. You also I think in your review you were mentioning his hands. His hands seem small, or
it's a weird sculpt. They're long. They're not that small, really, but they're very long and slender. And then the fists are kind of like the kind of fist you make if you don't know how to make a fist. And he does a lot of punching in the movie, and I would assume an X-Man would know how to make a fist. So it's just a weird. It's like they took a generic pre-made hand and just put some lines on it and called it Colossus's hand, rather than sculpting Colossus hands. Yeah.
Star-Lord says, do you guys think the main sculptor at Hasbro has huge birthing hips that his mom told him was normal? No, I don't think so. Cutthroat says, I'm having internet issues. I sound like I'm in a tunnel. Does anyone else notice? Does it sound like I'm in a tunnel to anyone else?
Yeah, right now.
But
yeah,
I'm not,
as you were
as far
saying
as
that,
I
it
know.
cut out. Yeah, a little bit, but mostly it's been
Is it
fine.
good now?
It's good right now. Yeah.
Okay. Figure Fight Club kind of wants this Colossus. Like I always say, buy whatever you want. Buy what, I'm not telling people what to buy here, what to spend their money on. Anthony does that.
I do it kind of. If you enjoy it, buy it. But don't buy it just because it exists. That's my whole thing. And if you don't, they'll make better stuff. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
But if you're going to like it, then hey, you are allowed to like whatever you like. That's your call.
And we are allowed to make fun of you. No, I'm kidding. I won't.
No, we are. That's how that works.
Yeah, maybe a little. Okay, moving on from... Huh?
I'll do it a lot. I'll make fun of them.
Okay. And I'll laugh. My number 2 pick is this reissued Venom, which is the same exact figure as before, but this time they included extra head tendril things off of his back. And this is actually a generous picture for it because they do not stand up like this. They just droop. There's no bendy wire in those.
Yeah, it makes
sense. So just a super lazy re-release. They could have gone the extra mile and maybe changed the plastic to make them, more rigid so they didn't droop, or made them bendy wire like they've done before with other figures. Movie Carnage had all kinds of bendy wire tendrils and spikes and things, and this was just sad. And it's the third time they've released this figure, so they could have gotten it right. This is a big disappointment. I'm not.
All it needs is bendy wires. Just put bendy wires in it. It's already, you already paid for the mold. Just put bendy wires in it, and then it goes from being the top number 2 worst figure to perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been on my list. I don't hate Venom. I actually really like Venom, and that's why my standards for Venom figures is high. It's not even high. I think my standards are reasonable.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah. All right.
And finally, number 1.
Our number 1 picks for worst Marvel Legend of the year, and boy, this
What did
might
I
start. You picked.
Oh, I know what I picked. Oh man. Apparently, since my video went out today, today's whatever video I did this morning was my top 10 worst of the year.
Yeah,
And this guy made it on
of
there.
all figure lines. Yeah.
Yes, of all figure lines. This guy made it on, and I'm getting a lot of comments saying apparently a lot of people have this guy in their top 10. And
Thomas does. Sorry, Thomas.
is it because, like, are these top 10 based on just what you enjoy or what you like or just the head sculpt, or what is it exactly is what I'm curious, because Hugh Jackman is far more heroic than this action figure, and this guy's hips they're not as bad as Spider-Shot, don't get me wrong, but he's pear-shaped and pudgy looking, like skinny fat. He's a skinny fat Wolverine with one really bad head sculpt and one that's really good. But
yeah, this
me,
head
it's
sculpt
like-
is phenomenal. I got to say.
yes,
This
it's
one
excellent.
is great. Yeah. Probably one of their best real human likeness
Oh, yeah.
head sculpts. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good. But the rest of it doesn't pose particularly well. The paints aren't particularly clean. He's made out of lemon yellow transparent plastic, and he's got birthing hips. So I just don't. When they reissue it with bare arms, that'll be better, I think. But he's still going to have birthing hips unless they fix it. But knowing them, they're going to get wider. And
Well, hopefully someone from Hasbro is watching this and they change his hips. They could probably do it with, different pegs.
well, I don't know. That's a pretty tight fit. Like, they don't have big gaps there, so they might not
True.
be able to, because the thigh part that goes all the way up to the side that's a thick thigh. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah, it sticks out from the rest of the body. Yeah.
It's so weird. Like, if you look at that photo right there, the hips where they stick out are at least as wide as the chest, if not wider. And that's not even close to how Hugh Jackman looks. Not even a little bit. So I don't get it.
My issue with, when I got this, I love the head sculpt.
Yes.
And I love that they use those newer style claws on it.
Yes.
But
True.
like so many Marvel Legends, like to me, the arms just look long. And go ahead.
Well, no, you go ahead. You're the one explaining what you're saying. I don't need to interrupt. You go ahead.
I just think the arms on this guy just look long. Maybe that's because where the shoulder pads are or something. But they just, I don't know. They always look monkeyish to me. You can easily pose that away. You could put his fists up, claws out, and you won't notice it. But to me, most Marvel Legends have that problem. The long arm look.
I think you're right about that. I think for this one, Hugh Jackman has pretty long arms. I think the problem is the rest of the figure. The arms line up with the crotch and the chest and where you would expect them to line up, like where the elbow is and everything. That seems pretty right to me. But the torso is still weirdly small, and he's got kind of squatty legs with the wide hips, so it makes a really weird look. Yeah. So I don't know if I agree about the arms being long on this one, but the rest is definitely weird, so you very well could be right. I'm not sure.
All right. That is your number one.
One last thing. Hold on. One last thing. If you have this figure, put a flashlight to it. You can see through it. The plastic
I heard you said that.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a friend, because I said the same thing to a friend, and I think we were in the DMs or something. He's like, oh, yeah, that's what Anthony said. I'm like, oh, I got to go check this out. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, it's just the plastic is not, I mean, all PVC lets some light through, I guess. I mean, not all, but a lot of it does. But this is like a whole lot, especially since it's lemon yellow, and there's virtually no paint. If they just threw paint on their figures, it would make them look so much better, even a wash or something. But yeah, put a flashlight on this guy and it'll glow like your thumb does. Like, not as much because it's plastic, but still, that's a thing. It would look way better if it didn't do that.
Gut says, anyone else think the SHF Wolverine looks like crap? I don't have it. I don't know if I've seen it.
I don't think it's out yet, is it? It does look bad from the photos. I agree, but I don't think it's out unless I just missed it.
Gaming Mafia says at 6'5", you're 6'5"?
Yes.
Anthony has better proportions than most of these legends. Hashtag no Diddy.
If I was in shape, I actually do, and that's only because I'm a semi-athletic guy, but these things look like crap. That's the problem. It's not that I'm a superhuman, though I have been accused of it on occasion.
6'5" is pretty tall. It's pretty tall. I'm told I'm tall, and I'm only 6'2".
You're tall too, yeah. By average, you're like what, 2 or 3 inches taller than average, something like that.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right, now on to my.
And finally, number 1.
I should have just had him say number 1. Anyway, the HasLab Giant Man. I didn't know. Oh, I'm going to get so much flack for this, but I'm telling you, I spent $200 on this a year and a half ago, and I got it. And he has those gummy finger joints that are going to tear. Look at X-Manny's video. Like, I haven't even moved mine yet. Everyone's like, oh, just put it in hot water. Just heat it up. No, that's not the problem. The problem is they used a soft PVC plastic on these little joints, and they're super tight. So X-Manny heated his up, still tore the plastic. That was my biggest issue with it was that. Also, I still haven't got my new eyes. They said they're going to send my the correct eyes, because I reached out to customer service. Everyone got the wrong eyes. They said I was going to get them mid-November. Still haven't got them. Or late November, whatever. Haven't got them, haven't heard from them. So for $200 that I spent a year and a half ago, this is my worst figure of 2024 for Marvel Legends.
I think that's fair. I didn't get my eyes yet either, by the way. Oh, you know what? Can we go back a few minutes? I do have a Giant Man I would like to sell, and it's probably not worth as much right now as it was a few minutes ago. But no, I agree with you. I didn't put him on the list because I figure he's like average for Marvel Legends, but I totally can see how you would want to put it higher up. It's well, I mean, everything you said is not good. How do you screw something up like that? It didn't need to be a thing in the first place. Those eye plates, why aren't they articulated eyes? We have that in Figma, in Revoltech. They're this freaking big, and they can do it. They can't do it on a head that got eyes this big?
Yeah. I don't know. Talib says, Dan said, screw your eyes. Yeah. They've done articulated fingers before, and that's what gets me. On the last 2 HasLabs they did, Galactus and the Sentinel, they did articulated fingers, and they used ABS, and they're fine.
Yeah.
They move fine. On this, for some reason, the joint, the discs themselves, the pegs, are PVC, and they're really soft. So even with heat, you're gonna have problems. So. Yeah. Big disappointment.
They did articulated fingers on that 18-inch Spider-Man figure forever ago. That was a long time ago.
It's right there. It's right there. His fingers are fine. Yeah.
It's fine. And there's just no excuse. Plus, they made the hands. That's Optimus Prime. That's a different guy.
Spider-Man's right in front of him. See?
I know.
Okay.
Is that with the big Optimus? The Mega?
The Lewin Atlas, like upscaled MP. Yeah.
Oh, that's the different one. I need one of those.
The fingers. Sorry, it's 28 inches tall, 26 or 28.
I wanted one of those so bad. I never got around to getting it. Are they still even around to be had at a reasonable price?
If they were, you'd probably check showzstore.com.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fingers, it's like they know how to do it. They chose to do it incorrectly, and they gave him absolutely enormous hands in order to put those articulated fingers on there. And they make up like 80% of the POA on this guy, and they don't work.
Yeah.
How do you do this?
It probably would have been cheaper for them to just include different hands.
That's what I said. Yes, give us different hands. The number of people who really want articulated fingers, very tiny percentage of people. It would have been way cheaper, and it would have looked better, and it would have functioned better because you can't even use them. So I don't get it. Makes no sense.
Figure Fight Club says the amount of negativity tonight has been overwhelming. Thank you, Figure Fight Club. I know that's a compliment. I do. All right. Gaming Mafia says Hatter found him at Target, or so I've been told. No, he found him at Ross. He took Matt Hatter's a YouTuber that you haven't seen, but he took the HasLab Giant Man into Ross, at least the box, and he put it on the shelf, and then he filmed himself walking into Ross and finding it on the shelf, it was pretty funny.
It could go there. You never know. We don't know what they're doing with HasLab money. We don't know how many they're making. For all we know, they're pulling eyes out of the figures and sending the figures to Ross to sell without their eyes. We don't know what's exactly going on there. And I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them at all.
Yeah. All right. So that's my top 10. I don't really have much more to add to my list, but I think everyone gets the point.
The point being no Sunfire body?
Yes. I mean, that's really, I'm trying to drive that home. Also, get these HasLabs right, dude. That's ridiculous. Yes. All right. So you want to plug your next, I mean, like people don't know, you have over 200,000 subs, but would you like to plug your channel and your next top 10 video probably that's coming up?
Yes, sure. I'm the guy who everybody says hates everything, when in reality, I actually just want it to be good. I wouldn't care if I hated everything. I don't review stuff I don't care about. So, I also try to justify everything I say with rationale and logic. So if you like that kind of review, my channel might be for you. And if you don't, then I'm definitely not the right place. If you're looking to feel good about a purchase and it's questionable, just don't come to my reviews. That's for sure. Yeah. I have top 10 videos going live every day until or through Christmas. Tomorrow will be the top 10 figures of the year across all the lines I've reviewed. And today was the top 10 worst. Tomorrow's the best. Then we have my top 10 favorite figures, just personal ones that I really enjoyed. And then we have the worst Marvel Legends are going to go, and then the best Marvel Legends, or maybe switch it around. So if you like top 10 lists, I've got 5 of them for you.
There you go.
And that's probably it, I guess. I don't know.
Look at this positivity. Toy Lips. Hate whatever you want, my dude. We love the critical eye. Listen, like I said, I'm pretty sure it was you. It might have been X-Manny, but you guys saved me a lot of money because I watched the review of Blackheart before I bought anything from that wave. And so now I don't have to buy that whole wave to get Blackheart. So the reviews are helpful,
That's what they're for, Right. This isn't Ryan's toy channel or whatever, that kid that made $20 million a year. I don't know. I'm not unboxing toys and playing with them. I'm reviewing them for adult collectors using technical information about articulation and sculpt and everything else. And if you don't care about that stuff, that's fine. I don't care if you want to go buy everything because it's a character you like. Enjoy yourself. But the reviews are still reviews for a reason, and that's what I do. And hopefully I'm saving people money, and they're enjoying their collections more as a result because they're not buying crap.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. And I don't hate things. I hate bad product and shitty companies like Hasbro who purposely give bad product. Are we allowed to swear here? I think
sure,
we are.
You swear all you want. I
don't
disclaimer
swear on my channel. But
yeah.
Do you? I don't swear ever. I do PG-13 only, but I make a lot of innuendos that a 9-year-old might make. So, it probably balances out.
I rarely ever swear because my kid and my wife will call me on it. Bobby swears a lot. He uses a lot of bad words, and so does Tony.
Yeah.
You're getting a ton of praise in the chat right now, by the way. Classic. He loves your reviews. He loves that you point out things others don't, and your comparisons. Especially your Darwin comparisons are great. Marcus says you're the only reviewer that he trusts. Man, Beast Boy wants a 24-hour stream between you and Rectangular to see who can finish their displays first.
He'll win because I'm not even close to starting.
It's been years that... so Rectangular's my friend. He's a YouTuber.
Yeah, I know Rectangular.
Okay. So his details behind him on stream have been empty for years. I went to his house. A year ago, and his details were like empty. So we always give him a hard time. But yeah,
it's a hard life trying to fill these shelves because you have to pick. Like, you can't just throw everything on there either. I mean, I've got 4,000 Marvel Legends. Actually, I'm going to sell all of those pretty much. But I've got so much stuff. I don't even know what to put in there. It's like, how do you pick? It's like picking a child, and then it takes forever. And I don't want to do it. But yeah, somebody mentioned, I think it was Gaming Mafia. He's a longtime viewer. do a live stream. I plan to. Whenever I start to fill these, I'm gonna stream it. I'll probably do it like late into the night, just stream putting shit on the shelves like a sweaty nerd, and hopefully people watch it. And if not, at least I'll have stuff on the shelves. So that's a plan, but who knows when? Never. I don't know.
There you go. It'll happen when it happens, just like your toy line.
That's yeah. Well, that I'm a failure. No, but it'll happen eventually. Yes, just like the toy line, it will happen. I promise. But I don't know when. That's the thing.
And just one more quick thing.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Yeah. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Not doing a show on Wednesday for obvious reasons.
Hey, happy Festivus, everyone!
Wednesday is Festivus. I'm taking that day off. But I know Chad and Ninja are both doing streams that day if you guys want to tune into them. Next Saturday, me and Bobby are going to run down our top 10 of the year. That's every figure line. So don't miss that. Anthony, thanks so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. I'd love to have you back again. Hopefully not a 2-year gap this time.
Anytime you need to fill a spot, I will make time. I enjoy talking this kind of stuff. I don't get to do it since I don't live stream anymore, and I don't talk to anybody in real life. So yeah, I'm down. And thanks for having me. It's fun. Maybe next time it won't be a purely negative thing to help my reputation that I've somehow established by being honest. But I'll take it. You know, any press is good press. So so that's okay. So thanks for having me.
Cool. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for the after show. To all my channel members, thank you so much. And I'll see you there, and I'll see you next Saturday with Bobby. Later.
Thank you.